And we're back, Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show on Pegasus Net Waves, taking your health to a higher level, flying high with Cupid and all the hearts and everything else that comes with Valentine's. So Valentine's Day is coming on. So today we're going to be talking about relationships and the secret to having a good, healthy, loving relationship. Stick around. I've got Gary de Rodrigues on here with me. If we're going to talk about experts about relationship and what it takes to have great ones, he is one of those. So awesome guy. I've been working with him through Divas. Actually got him involved in Divas. So before we get going, ClintFuquay.com, ClintsPrograms.com, PersonalHealthCareReform.com. Check me out, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn, Instagram, Find Fitness Pros, Idea, Spreaker for all the old shows, YouTube for new videos. Guess what? I've got 9 brand new videos out. 9. It's all about exercise, too. So I've got that going on, of course. The book and the workbook, because it's never too late to start on those resolutions or restart them. So the PHCR book and workbook, you can get those on the website or Amazon. For your companies, corporate wellness is a huge deal. If you don't have a corporate wellness program, you need one. You can get that through my partner PhysioFit. We have a phenomenal program, and that gets you enrolled with the American Diabetes Association and their program, because you will actually qualify for it if you use our program. How about that? And of course, my partner ID Life. We've got an awesome corporate wellness program too. Toyota uses it. Yeah, Toyota of America uses it. So do a lot of other companies. It's pretty good. Training and health coaching with me at either PhysioFit or the studio. Holistic medicine with Living Well, which we've got 2 people, the owners of Living Well, that have shows on here as well. And quite a few events coming up. So I'm going to start doing a lot more live events. So Live Lean 2016, the last Saturday and Sunday of the month, which means coming up here in a little bit, we got 2 of those. Both of them on Facebook. You can find them on my website. On Saturday, it's going to be at PhysioFit. On Sunday, it'll be at the studio, 12 to 2 on those. Stop Selling, Start Listening. And that's coming up on April 1st through the 3rd. I'll be up on stage for a little bit, along with a lot of other really phenomenal people. The fact I'm up on stage is amazing. I'm going to be kicking back, taking notes the rest of the time I'm there. The rest of the people they're speaking are absolutely phenomenal. Incredibly honored to be on stage. In fact, I'll have Robert Parkinson on here in a couple of weeks to discuss about successful living. We have that ID Revolution as well, March 31st through April 3rd. A lot of brand new releases. If you haven't been watching The Biggest Loser, Jen Wiederstrom, that's on there. Yeah, she's one of our investors. So all kinds of other stuff. Any other events, take a look on ClintFuquay.com. Also, take our Change of Heart boot camp at PhysioFit on February 20th. That's coming up on Saturday, benefiting the American Heart Association. So we have that. And, of course, my health partners, before we get into health in the news. Human, helping unite mankind in nutrition. Awesome vending service with them. Icon Meals, this way they do the cooking for you, and you get to enjoy the great healthy meals, custom prepared specifically for you. Kinesi, I'm walking around Kinesi right now. Active Cotton, awesome stuff. Brand new line coming out this spring as well. MedCall Pro, their brand new system goes online this spring, covering a family of 8, $55. ER doctor on the phone, 24/7, 365, anywhere in the world. Get your own medical kit. Ultra Lab Testing. This is Heart Health Month, okay? Ultra Lab Testing is actually doing special promo on all cardiovascular tests right now. So if you want to see anything and everything that's going on with your heart, with your blood, cardiovascular issues, they have every test on there. Normally 20 to 80% off. They've actually taken it down further than that. Find that on ClintFuquay.com. Thrive Market. They've got the best of everything out there for organic, for paleo, for gluten-free. You name it, they've got the best there. They gather it for you and ship it to you. And last but not least, ID Life, brand new website just released. The brand new health assessment with the health number coming out March 1st. Get ready for it. It's going to be awesome when that comes out. And I'm going to share my health number as soon as it comes out. I expect everybody else to go in there and get their health number and check it out. It's an amazing system, of course, with everything else. So we've got that. The 28-day challenges, ID transformation, everything else. I mean, it's seriously, Whole Foods brought us in. Whole Foods is taking our products nationally. So we're doing phenomenally well. You really need to check it out for your own health. And health and news. Everything is coming straight off the Facebook page. Okay. Living longer, taking care of your health, 10 ways to live longer. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You got to go online and check them out. Okay. That's right. I'm giving hooks today to get you on the page so you can like it. Click that little like button and like the page. if you're taking a little pill to help out with heartburn, you may be having some kidney failure later on. So definitely need to know there. The Zika virus, okay? I haven't really talked about it yet, but the Zika virus, everybody's worried about it. Everybody's worried about getting bit by, mosquito and contracting that and having malformations with the kids. The Zika virus may not actually be the reason for what's going on in Brazil. There's some other stuff put in the water at the same point in time, along with some GMO, some genetically modified mosquitoes and all kinds of stuff. So it all comes down to what's in the water, people. Same thing with Flint, Michigan, okay? Be aware of what's in the water. If you don't have a water filter, seriously, zero water, awesome stuff. In fact, if you get a zero water filter, they're actually donating one for everyone that's bought to Flint, Michigan. I use the zero water. Great, awesome filter. Of course, it's Heart Health Month, so improve 5,000 signs of for a healthier heart. Basically, exercise, reduce your stress. That's the big one there. For everybody out there taking pre-workouts, you better know what's in that pre-workout because not all scoops are the same. Biggest story on here with 27 different products. None of them had the same amount of anything in every scoop. And that's 27 random products taken off the shelf. So definitely be aware of what you're taking there. And Aldi. The organic wars have started, okay, which is great for all of us. Aldi is going all organic by the end of this year, okay? They're taking on Whole Foods. They're taking on everybody. Walmart's going to follow suit. Everybody else is following suit. What does that mean? That means prices are going to drop dramatically for all of us. It's kind of like gasoline. Everybody loves gasoline prices right now. That's because we have tons of gasoline on tap, okay? We have an overabundance. Same thing's about to happen with organic foods. We're about to have an overabundance. Prices are going to drop. It's actually going to cost the same or probably less to get organics in about the next 5 years than it is all the GMO stuff they keep on trying to shove down our throats. And last thing I'm going to talk about here, Splenda. If you're using this stuff, you should know that it's gone from caution to avoid, okay? Great story here from the CSPI. So, yeah, it's gone from caution to avoid, which means you should not take it in. It is a known carcinogen. It will make you sick and kill you fairly quickly, okay? So, yeah, it started off as a sweet deal, and it's not so sweet now. So just so you know about that, if you look on all your products, especially all your health products, and you see that in there, you might want to look at using a company that I don't know has probably never used it and uses only stevia for their sweetening. So there's that. That's it for the first part of the show. Come back, listen to Gary. We're going to talk about how to have a healthy, long, loving relationship. And for everything else, go to clintfuqua.com. We'll be right back. It's going to be an awesome show. Listen and take notes.
Hi again, everyone. My name is Gauthami Vemula. I am the founder and managing partner of Color Me Safe, a family crisis management consulting firm providing guidance and solutions in child welfare and child protection issues. If you want more information on Color Me Safe and what we do, please visit us at colormesafe.net. You can also follow us on Twitter and check us out on Facebook. Thank you.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
All right, we're back. Personal Healthcare Reform Talk Show on Pegasus Net Waves, taking your health to a higher level. And today we are really getting to the heart of the matter because, well, you know what just happened. If you don't, you're in trouble with somebody, or you don't have somebody because, Valentine's Day just came and went. Of course, it's Valentine's Day. What happens on Valentine's Day? Either you're trying to reignite something or a new flame starts up. But my guest today, Gary Rodrigues, is here with me, and he's awesome. I say I had an international superstar on the last show, and I did. Janet was awesome. She's international, and so is Gary. He's very much international, from all the way down under. He's done a lot of stuff down there. So, and of course, you've been with us at Divas for quite some time now as well. So, because everybody knows I'm heavily involved with them, you've been very heavily involved with the organization as well. So, Gary, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure, Clint. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you.
And I want to give everybody a little bit of your background right quick. Or actually, I'm going to let you give your background, because it's awesome what you've done. And so tell everybody a little bit about who Gary is, Peopleistic, how you created your program, and NLP specifically, because I know we're going to talk about some NLP, so they need to have some background on that.
Sure. So I began my career about 35 years ago. My biggest, passion was helping people resolve the issues, of course, they carry from their family of origin. My whole career launched in the AIDS community, quite frankly, when AIDS was so phenomenally decimating to our populations. And launched the AIDS Holistic Response Program that put me into the realm of doing public seminars. From there, corporate types would actually attend those. That led into corporate training. In the last 15 years, I've been heavily involved in corporate training, and primarily around the space of how to engage people. Mm-hmm. So internationally, I'm known as a people mechanic. How do you actually get people to interact, interconnect, resolve conflicts, move to the next level of collaboration, most importantly, be able to build a bridge between differences and get to mutual understanding. And it is an art and a science, because people are as different as there are snowflakes in a snowstorm.
Literally.
Literally. So it's always a testament of strategy, quite frankly, to teach people how to actually be in a non-projective, non-transference type of relationship with one another, and create communication avenues that will actually build that bridge so people can get to the middle and reach mutual understanding. In my opinion, no one is either right nor are they wrong. They have a position based upon their collective experiences from their past. You can't convince someone that what they concluded about their entire past is wrong. But what you can do is you can help people understand that the way that they perceive something is actually the best thing they were able to make up at the age in which a lot of those imprints were created. And therefore, whatever we are seeing as our absolute, solidified reality isn't really reality. It's our best version of it, but it's not actually reality. And there are multiple ways in which we can view a particular situation. So to be able to help people get to that next level, you have to help them train in self-leadership, personal accountability, emotional intelligence, I believe people intelligence, training people about the really complex differences, about how people are hardwired neurologically to perceive the world differently, and then how to innovate solutions, have conversations that actually are non-combative and solution-oriented, and give people some fundamental skills. So, the whole point of intimate relationships, which I just find like the absolutely best laboratory to discover how healthy you actually are between your ears. That's the best place to test the waters of your own emotional intelligence, mental and psychological health, is you put yourself into the laboratory of a relationship. I think the bigger question here is what creates a volatility. Yeah. And that's always the biggest question. And so I'd like to give a little bit of a conversation to what Harville Hendricks has deemed the imago, which I love his work. I think he has the finger on the pulse of really effective forms of conversations. However, I do believe that there's always pieces that can be added and that are adjunctive to whatever works out there, because none of us have the complete answer. Mm-hmm. But the piece that I bring to the puzzle of relationships is that there is a certain imprint that we all carry from our family of origin. We had to model our mothers and fathers from birth until 7. And then afterwards as well until we reached our teen years. But that really core imprint year where we have the most neurological capability, the most neurons firing off in the brain is between birth and 7. And we are modeling what our parents said, did, didn't do, didn't say, inferred about love, about money, about worth, about women and men, about the whole dynamic. So we literally came in and were thrown in my experience, most often into a bit of a dysfunctional mess. Mm-hmm. And then we model it and we take that on at an unconscious level. Now, that begins to develop what they call the imago, which means that at an unconscious level, which we're 90% running at an unconscious level, that 90%, we actually become energetically attracted to those individuals that will actually trigger off our deepest core wound based upon the imago that we're carrying. So if we grew up with an abusive parent, we generally find ourselves being attracted unconsciously to someone who will evoke the same type of emotional state within us. I personally think it's pure grace. It gives us the opportunity to then address that which is unhealed so that we can heal it. But what most people do is they'll get involved in it. They'll go hopeless. They'll create more evidence of their own internal shame. They'll blame more. They'll get more dysfunctional. They'll use substances to numb the pain because they can't figure out how to resolve their own. And as a consequence, many relationships crash and burn and children become destroyed.
Yeah. So parents, just remember, little sponges, monkey see, monkey do, and monkey think. Too. So
absolutely. And the biggest issue is that little monkey actually imprints and then passes it forward into their parenting styles and their adult relationships. So I think some books said the sins of the father and mother are visited upon the sons and the daughters. That we have to begin, number one, to create a healthy relationship. We have to take full responsibility for our own mental, psychological, emotional health. We have to educate ourselves. And what's lacking in most of us is a lack of relational education. And how to begin to start self-leading ourselves, unraveling the emotional inhibitors from our past. And this is why, I tend to shy away from NLP, and what we've developed as a core set of trainers internationally is a thing called HNLP, which is Humanistic Neurolinguistic Psychology, which simply means bringing a sense of more humanity to the aspect of how people create their excellence or create their subjective experience.
Give everybody just a little rundown on NLP, because some people may know what that is and what it's...
Some people won't.
Some people won't, and so you can embrace get into the HNLP.
Absolutely. The NLP models are really fabulous, developed by John Grinder, Richard Bandler years and years and years ago. And I will say that there were other very core contributors that actually made the entire science quite robust. Robert Dilts comes to mind, Leslie Cameron Bandler, and Connie Ray Andreas, Steve Andreas. Those were some of the really heavy hitters in the early stages of the NLP development. But it stands for Neurolinguistic Programming, how the nervous system brings in information, how we begin to start representing what we have given meaning to through language, and then how that language turns into patterns of behavior as we respond to the meaning we've given the outside stimulus. So the H comes in is that if you've looked at any of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, or Gregory Bateson's work on logical levels, you'll see that there is, of course, human experience is rather complex, and there is a higher purpose for why human beings ultimately exist. I mean, we all desire to leave some sort of legacy. If we believe in a sense of spirituality or religion, whatever your faith is, that there is more of a spiritual purpose to why we're all alive. If that's not in your belief system, then be the best expression of you that you can be while you're here. So whatever your faith is. So what the humanistic stands for is just how do you bring more of the full potentiality of who you are to the science of how we create our subjective experience, how we represent that with language, and then how that turns into patterns behavior or patterns of behavior. I oftentimes say that HNLP is like the owner's manual for the human mind. No one ever comes up and says, hey, would you like to figure out how you created the reality that you've created and what you think is so real? Would you like to know the system of how you've done it?
Because if you don't think you're living in the Matrix, you basically are.
We're all living in a bubble. And the first thing that we see when we look out of the bubble is a reflection of ourselves. So the bottom line is that once we begin to start really looking at what causes these explosive conditions in relationships? If two individuals are attracted to each other and they both have an imago, and at some unconscious level, they are meant to aggravate the deepest core wounds from childhood, to give each other the opportunity to heal it. If those two individuals do not have the internal, individual, personal resources to take responsibility for the firing off of their of their reptilian brain into fight or flight. If they don't have the capability of taking that responsibility, it will be explosive. You did this, I did that, passive aggressive, fighting. Children become destroyed. Divorces just go out the window as far as the increase of them.
Yeah, that was that big boom I was talking about earlier.
That's right. And the pain and suffering is immeasurable, not to even mention the impact it has on organizations. So what we have to begin to look at is how do we begin to start training ourselves in this science. Now, I've been in this field of personal development, professional development for 35 years, and this is the best set of skills I have ever found to create that kind of movement. It's short-term interventions with long-term permanent results. And if I find something that works better, I'm all over it. But I have not found anything that works faster, deeper, or better.
And people love fast and short term for getting some good results.
You got that right. So I do a lot of relational coaching. I do a lot of in-house corporate work on getting teams to be cohesive and perform effectively together. Because bottom line is, a culture is only as effective as the members that comprise it.
Okay. Let's do some basics here for everybody so they can get some, because the information is awesome, but everybody likes now. So so since it is Valentine's Day is coming on here, let's look at a couple different things. So maybe the basis of a solid loving relationship, what that is, and for couples that are trying to rekindle, if she lost that loving feeling, and or if two people meet and boom, it's us together and it's Valentine's Day and it's our first date and we're having fun. Let's give some basis on that, on basis for a loving relationship. If they're trying to rekindle something, or if there's a fire there, how to make sure it's going to be a good fire, it's not going to explode, and it's going to be a long burning thing.
I can answer that very simply.
Okay.
The greatest aphrodisiac there is a quality conversation. That's the greatest aphrodisiac there is. Everyone is looking for emotional safety, to be everything they are and everything they are not in the context of another person and be accepted. When you have that level of conversation and connection, what happens is people feel a profound level of intimacy and connection with that individual that they can establish that with. So number one, that you have to know how to have a quality conversation. Now, that presupposes certain core competencies. One core competency is that partner that I'm looking at across the table or the bed or whatever from me is not responsible for my happiness. That's number one. Number one, they're not responsible. Number two, whatever they say or do is not the cause of my pain. I'm the one that gives it the meaning that I give it. And it may be, if my partner's acting out on me and going like off the charts, I can look at that and give it 100 different meanings. One, there's something up with them I need to investigate. Two, this person will never have the qualities that I require to be in a successful long-term relationship with. So they've just given me met the metrics that I need to know that it's time to leave. Mm-hmm. Three, boy, there's something in me that's really drawn this out of that person. Maybe I better do some explanation and some investigation and then have a conversation about what's really going on for each one of us interpersonally to figure out how this dynamic's being co-created between us. Because nothing happens in a vacuum. It's always co-created. So the core competencies will always come down to you have to learn how to have conversations and build a bridge between the differences. Now, some of the key elements to that conversation is you have to enter the conversation with the intention of creating mutual understanding. Not the intention of being right, not the intention of making the other person wrong, not the intention of nuking them with all the evidence that you've got about how messed up they are, but the intention of creating mutual understanding. Number two, you have to be able to create active and intentional listening. You have to speak less, listen more. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth, which means you really need to hear more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 2 to 1.
That's right. And thirdly, you have to be able to understand and increase your own people intelligence. You have to understand that the linguistics being used, the language choices that your partner's using, will reveal a deep insight into how they think, the beliefs they hold, and where their core issues lie. I always say the number one, in fact, right before this meeting that I got on the show with you, I was having a conference call with a client who's flying in from California I do these breakthrough intensives to get people like to the other side rather quickly. They're either 4 to 6 hours worth of just straight coaching and big processes to create the breakthrough for them. And what she was asking me was, I've had all these issues with my life, and I really am interested in now finally taking the step forward to get it resolved once and for all. And I said, the bottom line is that is the most courageous thing an individual can do for their life. It prepares them for actually being able to go forward and creating a healthy relationship, because her whole intent is to create a really powerful relationship. No more attracting, the same issue with a different face. Really committed to attracting the right partner this time around in her life.
We just went past Groundhog Day too, so if you're experiencing Groundhog Day,
that's very true. So the whole intent then is she knows that it is about facing her family of origin, her imago, her issues, her fears, her inability to actually have authentic conversations and take full responsibility for herself. She will make a dynamite partner. But this is what I said to her. I said, the number one criteria you have to have when actually looking for a partner, do they have conflict resolution skills? Can they take responsibility for their own emotional states? Do they act out a victim? Do they have a lot of secret contracts that they want you to fulfill, but they never tell you that you're obligated to fulfill them? And do they then attack you for not fulfilling them, although you never knew that was part of your job? Right? So the bottom line is that the more functional you become, the more red flags you can notice based upon the language patterns and the behavioral patterns of others. The quicker you can weed through the chaff and get to the kernel. But if you don't have those types of skills, it's going to be very challenging for you, because you will be unconsciously attracted to someone that may not be the best match for you. So you have to have metrics. You have to be able to measure up against what it is that is a criteria for a successful relationship for you. And that only comes from your own personal self-awareness. The quality of the relationship is always the quality of the conversation. You want to get laid? You better know how to have a quality conversation. You want to have faithfulness? You better be able to connect with that person in a way that no one else connects like you do.
Before we close out here, do you have anything going on? Any events coming up?
I do, actually. I was asked to put together a trauma solution training for people, where mostly coaches are showing up for this, but we do have some veteran providers who are additionally showing up. The bottom line is all of our issues are based on core significant events. If those core significant events remain unaddressed and unneutralized, then you're always going to be reactive. I'm executive director of leadership development for a national nonprofit called Wisdom for Warriors that work with veterans. And our whole issue is, how do we decrease the impact of these core significant traumas that have occurred to all of us? That training starts on the 16th of February. They'll have to call my office or email me directly, and I can give them the information on it.
And office and email is?
Great. Office number is 972-773-9130. My email is Gary at people, the word people, with ISTIC tacked onto it. So it's Gary at peopleistic.com. And I will get you out the information. I've got exactly 4 seats left in that training.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for coming on. And for everybody else out there, definitely check that event out. Check out his website.
I didn't say the website. It's www.peopleistic.us.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on. For everybody else out there, hashtag LiveLean2016. Check it out, the conversation on there on all social media formats. We'll see you next month.
Bye-bye. Thank you.